welcome to episode 5 of the Crochet Haven podcast. My name is Tiffany. I'm known as PenguinFreak88 on Ravelry and Instagram, and you can now find me on Twitter as PenguinFreak00. I'd previously created a Twitter account and couldn't remember my email address that I used or password, so PenguinFreak88 was already taken, and I've been using this name for a really long time, so I made PenguinFreak00. I also have Periscope. I was planning on recording this podcast live, but I'm going to get this podcast out so everybody knows, get your intake on it, and let me know if you would be interested in watching a live podcast for me. If you don't have Periscope, it is an awesome app to download, and it is powered through Twitter, and it allows you to watch people live. So far I've watched one other lady from the O-Loops group, but I'm not exactly sure what her name is. I didn't look it up before this podcast. And then I've also watched Sarah Stevens and Lydia from O-Loops record live Periscopes. Over here is Max. He is eating breakfast, and I'm trying to keep him occupied while I record this podcast, so he is kind of over there. Give you a little bit extra entertainment. He's a cutie. Say hi, Max. But, yeah, so that's some new things that I've come up with this week. It seems like it has been an absolute lifetime since I recorded a podcast. But I did check YouTube to see how long it had been, and it's only been a week, so it seems like a lot longer than that. I do have a lot of things to show you this week. I'm going to start with my acquisition because I do have a whip that is part of my acquisition that I've already cast onto, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And in my mug is Celestial Seasonings, and it is in chamomile, and it's very delicious. I love it. So to start, I got some mail this week. A lovely lady by the name of Beverly from Ohio sent me a card in the mail. She wrote me a nice letter, and she sent me some tea samples. I tried this when I first got it. It is a Earl Grey green tea, and it was actually really good. I've tried the green teas like you buy at the store, like cold, and I didn't really like it, but I actually like this. It was pretty good. And I haven't tried this one yet, but this one is called Rosehip fruit tea. But this came from the Random Acts of Kindness group for my wish list. I put on, that I wanted to receive letters and postcards and tea samples. So she sent me this in the mail, and it was very sweet of her. So if you're watching, thanks, Beverly, and I will be getting back to you through the post as soon as possible. I did buy up some thank you cards for anyone that sends me anything, so I'll try and get those out as soon as possible. A friend of mine from church has asked me to knit him a scarf for Halloween, for his Halloween costume. He is dressing up from, Gru from Despicable Me. And he wanted me to knit Gru's scarf for him. So he went and bought some yarn for me to knit the scarf, and I'll be showing that in just a minute. And this is Caron Simply Soft, and it is just in the black colorway. I have 2 skeins of this. And then he bought me 2 skeins of this, also Caron Simply Soft. And this is just the Gray Heather, and I absolutely love this. I'm going to go buy some of this to make a sweater for Liam. This color, because I love it. I've also got very interested in making stitch markers. I know there's a lot of people out there that sell stitch markers and everything, but I've been thinking about maybe creating an Etsy shop And I'm going to try my hand at stitch markers, and if that goes well, then you may be seeing an Etsy shop from me soon. If you watch previous podcasts, you know I also want to get into dyeing yarn. That's not going to happen anytime soon because of lack of funds. But I do want to get into making stitch markers for now. And so I went and I bought this case. I got it from Walmart. And then I found some beads. If you can really see them in there, I've kind of put them up already. But they are, let's see, you got this one. This one's my favorite. I love turquoise. It's my favorite color. And then it's just got some solid colors. Purple, red, white, turquoise, yellow, orange, and then it's got spacer beads and all that. I have not bought my eye pins yet. I still need to get the 3-in-1 tool, like the cutter tool, and I'm gonna buy some lobster claws, and then I'm gonna get some of the split rings. So I still have to get those. I gotta get money loaded onto my PayPal account so I can get those bought. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I got a job. I start September 21st, and I'll be working in telecommunications at a call center. I've worked there before. So if you call the health insurance marketplace, you might get me. Another acquisition that I got, I just bought this yesterday. Since I'm starting work, we get an hour lunch, and I'm not allowed my cell phone in the building. So for my lunch break, I'm going to knit. And I bought this to bring with me to work. It is going to be my project bag, but it's just a purse. I bought it from our local Dollar General store. I don't know if y'all have this where y'all live, but it's kind of deep. It may be socks or something small like that, and then it's got extra pockets for like some notions, for me to put notions in, stitch markers, scissors, whatever I need. And then it's got long straps so I can carry it as a purse. Nobody will ever know until they see me knitting in the break room. But I have that. And I really like this. I like the colors on it. I will have a lot of acquisition on my next podcast, hopefully. I've ordered quite a few things. Super excited. I purchased my very first skein of yarn for myself. From my loops, and I will be participating in the Harry Potter knit along this year. If you don't know about it, it is too late to enter, but next year you should definitely try and get in on that. I will hopefully be receiving my acceptance letter in the mail in the next few weeks, and I'll talk more about that when I get it. But it's going to be so much fun. I'm a student at Hogwarts this year. I've also purchased my very first project bag from one of the project bag makers off of Etsy, and I will be the proud owner of a silver shed bag soon, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I want to show you. I'm super excited about it too. It's another one of my favorite shows. Okay, to start with whips. My last podcast, I showed a pair of argyle socks that I was making, and I gave up. I cannot do argyle socks. I ripped them out. If you don't remember what I was doing, it is the argyle sock graph off of Ravelry, and I modified it to kind of, for myself to accommodate for 80 stitches. Well, I can do art intarsia knitting as far as the socks that I knit with the DK weight, but as far as fingering or sport weight, no, it's not for me. So, epic fail with intarsia knitting in the round and flat for socks anyway. I have made more bows. I'm not sure which one of these is new. I know these two are. The red one, I knit these for the cardiac ride along with pin hook and needles. And then I did this one. This is an awesome color. I haven't made any more of those. I got to get them made, and then I need to get these mailed out to Misty. I still haven't got with her about a link for you to go to look at her jewelry. I don't think she has an Etsy shop up yet, but she's supposed to be making me stitch markers. So she's an amazing jewelry maker. I might be able to talk her into starting to make stitch markers too. And she's very unique. She makes unique things. I did get a little bit of work done on Sandra's Starburst blanket. Not very much, but I finished the white strip and I'm starting with the pink. But, yeah, I have until Christmas to finish it. And yes, my stepsister watches this podcast, so she already knows about it, so it's safe to show it. I've also been teaching her how to crochet. She's still working on it, but she's doing a really good job, and it's my first person ever teaching crochet. A lot of her stuff comes from YouTube tutorials because she's not around me all the time. But I'm excited about her entering into the world of crochet. Maybe knitting one day. Yeah. I like getting updates on her adventures with knitting. I have a half object. I finished a sock. This is the it's Rose City Rollers, but I used the design from the vanilla latte socks to go on top of them because my sister wants a pair out of this yarn as well. And to distinguish the two socks, I'm going to put patterns on top so we don't get them mixed up. But I have started the heel flap of the second sock, and for some reason, I don't know how this happened, but my heel flap looks nothing alike. Like, I don't know what happened. This is the Eye of Partridge, and I don't know what this is. I thought I was following the pattern, but it's different. But I have those. I'm super excited about those. I didn't show y'all my finished objects first. I do have some finished objects this week. I have not got any work done on this at all. I haven't worked on it. It's still at the same spot it was last podcast. I actually keep forgetting about it. Sorry, JD. I received an email from him the other day, and he's still underway, and he's in charge of his division, and he's griping about work, but I still have a little while before he gets back, so hopefully I'll get motivated to work on this. The next two projects that I'm going to show you is taking up a lot of my time, and I just haven't really felt like knitting. He's talking to you guys. That's my fat man. I love him to death. So this is my favorite thing to work on right now. It is in my bag, and I did buy some ribbon to replace this with. I just haven't done it yet. I guess I could have showed you that as a new acquisition as well. But this is the Bandit cow. Did I write down? I didn't write down who wrote it, but I do have it on my projects page. I have it on my projects page if you want to go look at it, and I'll include it in show notes. Well, this is what I got so far, and it's going to be a cow, believe it or not. Let's see, I'll pull it up. and show you. When sticking. And I'm using my stitch markers from Sheila. And this is just some Caron Simply Soft that I had in my stash. And I'm using it. It's by... Oh yeah, another acquisition. Sorry. Yep, I'm getting in the mood of Harry Potter. I got this just for the knit along. This is what it's going to look like when I'm done. And this is a pattern by Debbie Lake. So, and it's a free pattern, as I know of. I might have got it before she put it up with price. But, yeah. So that's my favorite thing to work on right now. And then, of course, I have crew scarf. And this is weird. This pattern is knit in the round. So I guess it's supposed to be made to be a thicker scarf. This is what I got so far. And it's kind of like a sock. So I did the did a kitchenaire stitch right here. The pattern didn't tell me to do a kitchenaire stitch, but I did one anyway because it looks a lot better than just sewing up the end. So yeah. So this is gonna be Jonathan's crew scarf for his Halloween costume. I haven't really worked on this one either. I've mostly been working on my banded cow. I do have another thing coming in the mail. And I signed up for another group. I joined another group, and it's called We'll Work for Yarn. Sheila introduced me to this group. She knew that my stash was low, and I wanted some extra stash. So you pretty much work for yarn. So what I'm going to do is knit a scarf for this lovely lady named Anne. I cannot pronounce her Ravelry name because it's weird. But it will be Happy Street, the Happy Street pattern. And I haven't seen her yarn choices yet. They're on the way. I should be receiving them early next week. And she's sending me 3 skeins of yarn to do the job. So I'm super excited about that. I have not discussed with her whether or not I'll be able to show it off to you guys. So that might be in a bag that you can't see. So, but I'm sure I don't really think she'll have an issue with it. But I am going to ask her permission since it's her shawl before I show it on the podcast. She may want to watch my progress. I don't know. I do have to post a progress picture every week in a thread, but I don't really have a deadline to complete it. It will be my primary thing to do for a few weeks until I can make good progress on it, but I'm excited. Sorry, Max is fussing. Now on to finished objects. Yay! I knit this for the cardiac read along. This is my cotton candy shrug. And I can't put it on because I'm kind of in a tight spot right now. I'm trying to record this podcast in my kitchen because my kids are playing. But yeah, but this is it. It's really small and it's really tight. Like it's too tight this way, and the yarn doesn't give any leeway whatsoever. But I knit this for the cardiac read along with pin hook and needles. And Rachel and I, Rachel is our docey on Ravelry, and she has the Life is a Ball of Yarn podcast. And she and I have been doing a knit along with this, kind of like a mini knit along, unofficial. And this is the Be Simple Variation shawl. It has a picot bind off, and it was my very first picot bind off. But I absolutely love it. And it's actually a little small. I knit this for my friend Casey. She actually had a birthday last week. So I kind of finished it just in time, but I told her that I wouldn't get it to her until I recorded this podcast so I could show it off to you guys. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know. But she will be receiving this probably next week or this week. I keep forgetting it's only like Wednesday, Thursday. So maybe next week. And I think that's all that I have to say today. I am going to conclude this podcast since my babies are fussing so much and I do need to get them fed for breakfast. But I will be trying to record again next week, and I hope you join me again. And until next time, from Crochet Haven, have a nice day.